So let us start our discussion. So like always, we have been discussing our programming for last couple of days, and slowly we are trying to understand some of these concepts. So right from very beginning, we have seen many libraries. We have seen many functions, how to use them on our data sets, how to perform data exploration, how to manipulate your data, all these things. So going forward in the same direction, we are going to discuss our remaining aspects of our programming. So if you see in the last class, we were discussing the dplyr library. And then we have discussed some functions using the dplyr library. So today also we are going to apply that library on a different data set. And then we are going to learn new functions present in our dplyr library. And then some visualizations we have discussed. Some visualizations we have seen. And today we are going to discuss our ggplot to visualizations library. We'll try to perform some simple visualizations using that library. Simple charts we'll try and create using that library. And then we'll look at some more small functions which are going to help us in our data analysis. We'll try and discuss them. And how to run our commands from our terminal. We will discuss one example. How to run our files from our terminal. We will try to get the output in R. We'll discuss these things. So in this manner, we are going to continue our discussion, like always. Now, let us start our session. So we are working with our dplyr library. So invoke that library dplyr. That is the first thing what we have written. Then we are seeing data. So we want to explore what are all the different data sets which are available in RStudio. We are trying to understand. So now, among these data sets, we are going to use one of them. So first, we are going to use one package which is called as NYC flight study. NYC flight. So this package you have to install. Why are we installing? Because one data set we are using which is present in this package. NYC flight 13. So install that. So let us wait for a few seconds. So what is it saying? There is a warning. So let us try with library NYC flight 13. So there is no package it is saying. Library NYC flights 13. So I think this is because of new version what we have installed very recently, 4.2 version. Okay, no problem. Let us go to our Studio Cloud. Login with your Google account. Into project. So let us create an R script and then use that file. Upload Let us open the file. So now we have the, okay. Click on install. So now we are able to install all our required packages. And now we simply, after installing, we can say library NYC flights 13. And library what we have invoked. And now there is a data set called as flights. So we are going to use that. So view flights data. So let us just wait for a few seconds. It's going to show us. So these are all the columns that we have. 19 columns are there. Around 3 lakh observations are there. Year, departure time, scheduled departure time, departure delay, arrival time. So all these columns we have. Now you can try out dimension. You can say dimension here, and it is going to tell you how many rows you have, how many columns you have. So we have these many rows, 3,36,000 rows and 19 columns. And then we are going to filter. We are going to use our filter function. And this time I want to filter all the observations belonging to month 1 and day 1. So I can filter my observations. Okay. What is it saying? Object day not found. Why is it not able to find that? Let us see. Today is here. Let's try something else. Okay, I got something. Could not find function. So we have fixed that. Now it's working. So the problem was we have not given library dplyr. So it's not able to understand. So that was the reason where we were getting some mistakes. So just 1 second. Okay, let us continue. So now we have successfully filtered our data, our flights data based on month value and day value. Similarly, now you want to arrange your flights data with respect to year, month, and day. Press Control Enter. So arrange function, you have seen. It is going to arrange by default in the ascending order for us. Year, month, and day. Only one year. There is only one year, which is 2030, and you have different months in 2030 and different days in those months. So it is NYC flights 13 package we are using. In this package, we have a data set called flights. So we are working with that data set. Now, you can also change the order. You can say in descending order I want of any particular column, then it is going to arrange your observations in the descending order of the column. So let us try this out. View arrange flights in descending order of arrival delay. So in the descending order of arrival delay, we could have arranged our observations. So in descending order of arrival delay. Now, we are using our select function, and then we are selecting our columns that we want, year, month, and day from our flight state. If you want to select all the columns between year and day, you can mention this. I want to select all my columns from year to day from my flights data set. I can give like this. Select from my flights data set all these columns. So I can give this. It is going to give me my columns, year, month, and day. So these are the 3 columns that I want. Now, suppose if we don't want any columns. So this is a new thing what we are discussing. We are saying select flights and minus year is to day. That means it is going to remove all these columns from your data set and it is going to work with just the remaining columns. So now it has removed those columns for us. Year is gone, month is gone, day is gone for us. These 3 columns are gone. So out of 19 columns, 3 columns are gone and you are left with 16 columns. This is what we are left with. Now, there is another function called as mutate function. So this is also an important function for us. What is this mutate function telling us? If you create any new columns, you can create with the help of this function, mutate. So far, we have not created any new columns. This mutate function is also there in your dplyr library. So we are saying mutate, create on my flights data, a new column gain. Gain is equal to arrival delay minus departure delay. This is gain. Arrival delay minus departure delay first. This is what is gain. So I want to create one new column called as gain. And then also create one new column called as speed. Speed is equal to distance upon air time into 60. So this is what I'm saying. Create these two new columns. So let us do that. Mutate. Select all the lines. Press Control Enter for us. So now we previously had 19 columns first, but now plus 2. 2 new columns have been created. Total number of columns 21 columns are there. We are having 21 columns. And now check for those columns. So we have 2 columns that we have created. Gain column is there, and then speed column is there. So it has used our formula, gain and speed. Also and it has created our 2 new columns on top of our data set. So this is what it has created. Then you can create like this new columns based on your requirement. So this time I'm using the same function. But there is a new column what I'm going to do. So it is called as gain per hour. Along with gain, I want to calculate what is the gain per hour. So it is nothing but gain divided by air time divided by 60. What is the gain per hour we are trying to calculate? So let us try this out. Select all these things. Press Control Enter first. So we have created 2 more columns. So we are saying gain, and we are also saying gain per hour. So mutate functions you can use like this. They are very helpful functions. Mutate or create. So mutate is also there in our dplyr library. Now, let us see something else. sample underscore n. Another function called as sample underscore n. So if you want to select a sample of observations, you can use this ready-made function first. So let us try this out. We are saying sample underscore n, in brackets you are giving flights, comma 20. So this is what we are saying. So now let us press Control Enter here. Now it is going to randomly select 20 observations. It is going to show us that. So 20 observations. We are able to see our 20 observations. Now, you can also use our head functions, tail functions, all these are ready-made for us. So let us see another function called as sample underscore fraction. Sample underscore frac. So if you want to select a fraction of data from your flights, what is the fraction I am saying? 1% of my data from 336,000 observations I want to select. So you can also give like this. On a sample, you can experiment with your data. So now we can press Control Enter. So it is going to give you a fraction of data. 1% of 336,000 is approximately 3,368. 1% of this value, you are going to get 3,368. So these many observations you have got. These many observations you are able to preview. So what is the function you have used? Sample underscore frac. So this is also there inside our dplyr library. So just here filter, you have range, you have select, you have sample underscore n, you have sample underscore frac, you have mutate. All these functions are part of your dplyr library. Now, let us see another function which is called as group by. So we are saying group by my flight state. And how do you want to group this data? I'm saying by destinations, by dest. So this is how I want to group my data. So if you carefully observe the data set, just 1 second. So if you carefully observe, if you scroll to the right, there is a column called test first. So you want to organize, you want to group your flights data with respect to test. That is what I want to do first. So after grouping my data with respect to this column test, store the results in a variable called destinations. So this is my group data now. Destinations is my group data. Now I'm using another function called as summarize. This function is also there in our dplyr. Summarize. Summarize my destination. How do I want to summarize this? With distinct tail number values for the aircraft and store that result in a variable called planes. And then with distinct flights, I want to summarize the data. That is what I'm saying. Summarize my data by using two columns for planes and flights. So now we are able to summarize our data. So after grouping with respect to destinations, now it is summarizing. Planes and flights. So this is how we are able to summarize our data. So these are the number of flights to that destination, to all these destinations. So you can say view destinations. If you want to view your group data, you can always say view destinations. So this is your group data. So this is my group data. So now you can summarize this data based on your requirement. So we have said summarize destinations. And how do I want to summarize my destinations? I'm saying planes is equal to distinct tail number. That is what I'm saying. N underscore distinct. N underscore distinct tail number. So based on the distinct tail number values that you have, you try to create one column called as planes. For these destinations. And then we are saying flights. How many flights? Count those flights for our destinations. So this is what we are getting. These are the flights, flights. So this is how you can use your summarize function. Another example is there for us. How to work out with your summarize function. You are saying summarize, and then I'm saying, let us try to understand how this code is working. So first of all, we are grouping all your observations in your flights data by year, month, and day. So group your observations. Just wait for a few seconds. So this is our data. Group data daily. Size daily data with respect to number of flights. So we want to understand each day how many flights you're having. This is what I want to understand. So summarize this per day. Then now that you have per day information, go for per month information. So how can you get per month information? So simply add the number of per day. And every number of flights that you have, you are going to per month how many flights you are having. Per month. Per year, if you want to calculate, then estimation of flights per month. So now if you try to understand, in 2018, total number of flights that you have is 3,36,776. Now if you go backwards, month-wise, if you see, these are all the total number of flights that you have month-wise. Month-wise, total number of flights. Now if you go back again from month to day-wise. So this is all day-wise. Day-wise our flights. That is, we have used our summarize function again. Summarize function. Now, So far, select function we have seen. So select function we know. You can mention the name of the column here and you can select automatically this column from your data set. But apart from that, you can also mention the position of that column. So instead of just mentioning the name of the column, name of that column, you can also write what is the position. Then also it is going to select the same column for us. So you select flights, and if you have one, it is going to select the column. So this is how you can do. Now, you observe this. It is a combination of filter function, summarize, select, group. So all the functions, you can use them together. So what is it we are trying to do here? First, you go from the inside always to the outside. Remember, in programming, from the inside, you go to the outside. So group by, you are using this operation. This is the in. You are doing this group by on your flights data. And then I want you to group by year, month, day, arrival delay, and departure delay. I want you to group by your data using these columns. If you carefully look, what is happening is your group by brackets are only year, month, and day. This is the first thing what you're doing. And then you are saying select. Select these columns, arrival delay and departure delay. After grouping them, select those columns. Okay. And then summarize those columns. How do you want me to summarize? I want you to calculate something. Mean of arrival delay. Remove any null values if we have and store it in a variable called arrival. Again, calculate mean of departure delay. Remove any null values if you have. Store it in a variable called departure. That is how I want to summarize. After summarization, I want to filter. How do I want to filter? Filter all those observations. If arrival value, what we have calculated is greater than 30 or departure value is greater than 30. So if it satisfies any of these two conditions, you filter those observations and you give me those observations. That is what we are saying. You filter those observations and you give me those observations. So this is how it is a combination of different functions what we have seen so far. Carefully you have to understand filter, summarize, select, group by. All these together we are using. Try to extract some information from our data. So select all of them together. Press Enter. And then you can say view filter one. So these are all. So these are all our observations. Whatever. So that's how you can mix and match all these functions, and you can definitely extract information based on your requirement, and you can try and solve problems. So that is the idea. So all these are part of your dplyr library. Select, filter, arrange, sample -n, sample -frac, and then group by, mutate, summarize. All functions. So it is a good exercise what we have done using all these functions. Sample underscore entities. The function what we have given, if you scroll up, if you see, it is sample.
Varun sir, there is some.
Yeah.
Your voice is fluctuating actually.
Okay. So sample underscore n, that is the function what we use. And then sample underscore fraction for selecting a fraction of observations from your data set. So if I said sample -n, then just correct. It is not hyphen, it is sample underscore n. So let us try to explore this dplyr. So you can always press question mark dplyr. And let us see what results we are going to get. So there is not much of information here. It is taking us to a website. We can go here. So these are all some functions. So these are all some functions for us: mutate, select, filter. So all these things you can use. Okay, so you can go through. A lot of examples are there for us for practicing, and you can practice them. It is a good exercise. So I'll share this link with you. You can also use that. And you can practice. So that is about our dplyr library. So now let us move to another important library for us, which is ggplot. So let us come here to ggplot. So first thing what we have to do is we have to install our package, which is called as ggplot2. And then let us invoke this package. Let us say library ggplot2 for this. Let us do that. So I'm installing the package. So we have installed. And now let us invoke our package library ggplot2. And now inside this ggplot2 package, I have a data set called as MySperGal. So I'm saying use this data set. So let us load this data set first. And you can take a look at how the data set is. This is our data. So this data set is, yeah. And we have different manufacturers, models of those cars, displacement, year, how many cylinders, what is the transmission, what is the drive, whether it is a wheel drive or it is a four-wheel drive or it is a rear wheel drive. And mileage in city, mileage on highway. So you have different columns in this map. So okay. I think my screen may take a bit of lag before it loads. So according to that speed, I slightly slow down and then I try to explain what we are doing. So just now we have installed our package ggplot2, and then we have said library ggplot2, and we have invoked that package. And now in that package, we are using one data set called as miles per gallon. And then we are trying to use that data and create some visualizations. That is what we are. And now before we create any visualizations, we are trying to transform our data so that it is convenient for us to apply all our functions. So I'm saying transform my data, and then I want to convert my cylinder values into factors. So factors, we know they are nothing but different categories for us. So I'm simply converting my cylinder data into factors, into categories. I want to convert my drive into factors. Likewise, FL into factors, year into factors, class into factors. So all these are because they are different categories and all. I want to simply factorize them. So that is the transformation of what we are doing here. So I'll show you before transformation, how is our data. There is a structure, and if you give data, so you see before transformation, this is how your data is like. Okay, now I want to convert some of these into, these are all characters. So I want to convert them from characters to factors. Drive. Okay, then year, cylinders, like this. And then factors. So let us convert them. So now we have converted them into our factor data. So how do I confirm? Simply I can say structure of my data. If I give this, now you see these things have been factorized. So class is a factor now, FL is a factor, drive is a factor, cylinder is a factor, year is a factor. Okay, like this you have changed some of your columns data into factors. So that is how you can use your factor function, what we have said. Now, so if you give question mark, it is saying ggplot2 MPG data set. And it is having 234 rows, 11 columns, 234 rows, 11 columns for us. So you have manufacturer, cylinder, transmission, drive, city, highway. FL is fuel type. Okay, so I wanted to check this. What is FL? FL is fuel type. What is the type of fuel? So now let us take a break here and then come back in 10 minutes. And we are going to discuss our ggplot2 visualizations. So take a break for 10 minutes.
Hello everyone. There is some network issue at trainer end. We will wait for 5 minutes. Okay. Please be there in session. Sir is joining within 2 minutes. Let's wait. Meanwhile, I just want to inform you that all the material is already uploaded in the LMS, day-wise material. So you can access the material and you are also able to download that file. I will share my screen and I will show you how to access the material. So hope my screen is visible to everyone. Once you log into the LMS, then you are able to see that dashboard. And you need to click on Introduction to R Programming and Tableau. In that, attendance submission and material recording, two tabs are there. If you want to access the material and recording, you need to click on Start. Then you are able to see the material and recorded session here. So recorded session is here and material is here. You need to click on Download and you are able to see the file. This is the practice file. Okay. Any question regarding that?
So yeah, my apologies. So there was some problem with my Wi-Fi connection. It was not able to detect. Reason why I had to restart my computer and again join. So let us go back to where we were. So let me quickly run these things, run our commands. So up till here we are fine. Now let us start working with our ggplot function. So I'm using this library here, ggplot2, and then inside this ggplot2 library, we are using one function called as ggplot. So I'm saying ggplot on my data, and AES means aesthetics first. So I'm saying on x-axis I want to have my displacement variable, on y-axis I want to have my height, and I want to create a geometric point visualization. This is what I'm saying. I want to create a geometric point visualization. So select all these things, press Control Enter. Just wait for a few seconds. It is going to create visualization first. So this is our a geometric point visualization. So you have displacement on your x-axis and you have highway on your y-axis. So using your DT library. And then are you all able to see my screen now? Is my screen visible to all of you? Can you see this visualization here?
Sir, your screen
What
is
we have just
visible,
created.
but your voice is still fluctuating.
Yeah. Visualization is not yet visible. Can you just check once our visualization is visible or not? Okay. I think there is understand. So no problem. Let us go at speed and try to resolve that problem. We have created our geometric point visualization first using our ggplot library. Now let us try to create a geometric line visualization. So how is it going to look like? Let us see first. Let us try to create So before we move any further, let me just tell you what I have just done. I have used this simple piece of code here, ggplot, and then I'm trying to apply it on my data. And I'm seeing aesthetics. On my x-axis, I want a displacement. On my y-axis, I want highway. And then I want to create my geometric line visualization. That's what I want to do. So my geometric line visualization. Previously, we have tried to create a geometric point visualization first. So how is our geometric point visualization going to look? Let us try to create that. This is how my geometric point visualization is going to look like. So you're going to have your pointers. All these are your points. So it is very forward for us, not changing anything. Instead of geometric point, if you say geometric line, it is going to create a different visualization for you. So I'll show you. This is how your geometric line visualization is going to look like. Okay. Yeah, it is a line graph only. What you are able to see is simple line graph, what we have drawn. It is just a geometric line. I have not done anything else. Yeah. Just 1 second. So now it is that time of the day, 8:30, where attendance link will be circulated. So it is already there in your chat window. So please try to fill in those forms with all your details. And then you can always come back and you can attend our sessions. So far we have created our geometric point visualization and geometric line visualization. This is what we have created so far. Okay. Then now let us see. We'll try to create both of them together. I'm trying to create geometric point and also geometric line visualization. I'm going to create. So this is what we are going to do. We are not making any changes to the code. It is very straightforward, very simple, whatever we have written. And then press Control Enter. So now it is a combination of both. The visualization, what you are able to see, is a combination of both. It is a combination of geometric point and also it is a combination of geometry. So this you are able to with the help of your to library. So we are able to do this because of your ggplot to library. And there is also a function which is called as ggplot inside this library. We are applying this ggplot library. And we are able to create these beautiful visualizations for us. So this is what we are doing. Now, let us see some more visualizations first. Histograms, this time using our ggplot2 library. So press Control Enter. I'm creating a simple histogram on highway mileage data. So this is my histogram. So another visualization which is going to give us some insights. So there is absolutely no change in code. We are only saying ggplot and I am saying data plus aesthetics. X is equal to highway plus I'm going to create that is it. There is no change in code. Now, let us slightly modify this command first. I'm saying ggplot on my data, aesthetics x is equal to highway on my highway data, and I'm trying to mention my bins. These are all called bins. These are called as bins or your intervals. So this is what I'm saying. So now your histogram is going to look like this. So in this manner, you can make some small changes to our code, and you can see how these changes are going to reflect in the visualizations. How these small changes are going to reflect in these visualizations, you can understand. So we are all working out with the same library ggplot. There is absolutely no difference. There is no change here. Now, this time I'm mentioning my bin size. So let us try this out. Another variant of your histogram. So this is how your bin size. Bin size you are mentioning it as 30. Make a small correction to whatever I've said. It's not bin size. Here what we are trying to say is number of bins. That is the correct thing, what I'm supposed to say. When I say bins is equal to 30, I'm saying break my histogram into 30 bins. That is what we are saying. So in this manner, you can understand your histogram structure. Now, density plot. If you want to create your density plot, I'm simply saying ggplot on my data. Aesthetics on my x-axis, I want my highway. And then I'm going to create my density plot. So I'm creating my density plot here. So we have seen another visualization. So far, what are all visualizations we have seen? Geometric point, our first visualization. Geometric line, our second visualization. Then a combination of both geometric point and geometric line visualization. Fourth, geometric histogram we have seen. Fifth, we are discussing geometric density visualization. All these visualizations, without making any changes in our code, we are able to create. So that is how powerful is our ggplot2 library. So this is another important library which is very frequently used in our program. Now, let us try another density. So this time it is a combination of histograms and density plots, what we are trying to create. So it is a combination of histogram and density. So now you see, it is able to create our histograms and also it is able to create our So let us try to create another visualization. We are saying ggplot data, and now I'm saying my aesthetics. On my x-axis I want highway. I want to color my visualization with my drive values, and so 4 different colors I'm saying. Or how many drive values we have? Front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. So we have 3 categories. So color with respect to 3 categories, and this color fill the value. I want to fill my density plots. I want to fill these regions with that color, and I'm saying create my geometric density. What is the alpha will try in a few minutes. First create this visualization. So this is the visualization. So it has filled our values. So you have highway. It has colored with respect to your 3 categories, 3 drives. This is 4-wheel drive. This is rear wheel drive. This is front wheel drive. So front wheel drive is slightly giving more mileage for us. You see on highways, it is clearly the better option for us. Your front wheel drive. 4-wheel drive is not helping us. Rear wheel drive is also not good. So this is how you can use it in our analysis. Based on the drive, how is the highway mileage changing, you can understand. Now what about this alpha value? 0.75. If I change it to 0.25. So the darkness has reduced. The darkness of the color has reduced. So this is what we have to understand. Darkness of the color has reduced. So that is how you can change your alpha value, and accordingly you can adjust the shades. You can adjust the darkness. Now, the box plot first. The box plot using ggplot2 library. Box plot using ggplot2 library. So remember your box plot. This is the lower quartile, this is our upper quartile, this is our median. Clearly you understand. So same logic using a different library and simplifying the code and trying to apply concepts. That is what we are doing. So the ggplot library is very powerful. The same piece of code with absolutely power and whatever we have written, and you are able to create different visualizations. That is the advantage. So far, what are all the visualizations you have seen? Geometric point, geometric line, combination of both geometric point and geometric line. And then we have seen geometric histogram, geometric density, combination of both density plus histogram. You are able to see a box plot. So all the visualizations so far, they are going to help us in our analysis. So remember how to use our ggplot function, what is the library we have to use, and how we are supposed to write our small piece of comments. Then box plot with some more parameters. Let us try. I'm saying on my x-axis I want different modes of drive. On my y-axis I want highway. So you see, front wheel is clearly dominating for us. Clearly the mileage is high on highways. Four-wheel drive is the worst because you can see the median is very less. Median mileage on highways is very less. The next best option that you have is rear-wheel drive. And then the first option what you have is, the best option what you have is front-wheel drive. So this is how you can do a comparative analysis. You can do a comparative analysis in this manner across different categories. Across different categories, this is what we can. So box plot itself, we are not just focusing on one single variable here. We are also trying to understand how the highway mileage is going to change for different modes of drive. What will happen if it is four-wheel drive? What will happen if it is front-wheel drive? What will happen if it is rear-wheel drive? You are able to understand. Now, similarly, you can create a jitter plot. Let us try this. So along with your box plots, now we are also saying jitter, add some noise. Jitter means noise. So there is a ready-made function here, geometric jitter. And you can add some noise in this manner to our box plots. So I hope all of you have filled in the attendance sheet if anybody has not done, please try to fill in your attendance sheet. That is the most important thing what you're supposed to do. And then you can always come back and you can attend our sessions. And now, apart from geometric jitter, let us try geometric bar plot. So bar plot also is possible using your ggplot library. So you see, we have created a simple bar plot here. Using our ggplot function. I'm simply saying geometric underscore bar, and it is going to create our geometric bar plot first. So more number of observations in your data you have for front wheel drive, highest number of observations you have. And then next, second highest number of observations you have for four wheel drive, followed by rear wheel drive. Counting how many observations you have. So this is what you have to understand. Now, not only this, let us try to see another visualization. Geometric point. This time I am introducing one new parameter called as shape. So what is shape going to do? Let us try to understand. So you see, it has changed the, instead of points, you are having the shapes. This is a different shape first. So this is a different visualization altogether. So in this manner, you can just experiment with this code. What I'm going to share with you, I'm going to share both the piece of codes with you, whatever I'm using right now, whatever we have seen in the first half, your dplyr library. So both these codes I'm going to share, and then you can also simultaneously practice how we are writing these commands and how it is working out. You can understand. So let us try to change the shape values. If you give 7, okay, the shape is changed. Okay. So try to experiment with these things. Try to change these values. Whatever values you are seeing in blue, remember, in any code what I've shared with you, whatever values you are going to see in blue, try to experiment with these values. Try to change these values and see what is happening to your visualization. That is important for us. So it is a good exercise for you. Whenever you're practicing, try to change these values and try to practice. Now, let us see another example first. Geometric point. This time you're trying to give the shape. You're not giving an absolute value. You are saying shape with respect to my three different categories of drive. So now you see, you can understand. Circle that you have is corresponding to four-wheel drive. Okay. Then squares, you have some squares here, rear wheel drive. Okay. And then some triangles you have in the middle, they are indicating front wheel drive. So you see front wheel drive, they are giving us more mileage. And displacement is around 3 to 4. Whereas if you see most of your four-wheel drive, they are not giving us very high mileage. Their displacement is also less. But rear wheel drive, displacement is very high, but mileage is not there. So for rear wheel drive, displacement is high, but you are not having highway mileage. So this is how you can experiment with different sections of the program and you can extract information from your data. So this is what you are supposed to do. So remember all the concepts that we have discussed so far, all the visualizations, right from geometric points to lines, to combination of both, to histograms, density plots, box plots, bar plots, and then different variants of points, what we have seen based on shape. So all these visualizations, we are able to simply do using one common library which is called as ggplot and a function called as ggplot. And then try to revise all the topics what we have seen in the first half of today's session. dplyr libraries, all those functions. Select, filter, arrange, mutate, sample underscore n, sample underscore fraction. All these things we have seen. Summarize, group by. So all these functions are very, very important for us in your data analysis. So practice whatever things we have discussed in today's session. Then tomorrow in the same manner, we are going to continue again. In the same direction, we are going to continue. And whatever we have not been able to discuss today, we can discuss them in tomorrow's session. And we'll try to apply those concepts in our R program. That is what we are going to see. Meanwhile, I've shared a couple of files with you. Try to work on them. Try to see whether you are able to get those results or not, the outputs, what we are trying to do. And then going forward, we'll be learning some more concepts beyond whatever we have discussed. So till then, take care. Thanks very much for your time today and patience, like always. For every session, all of you are attending regularly. So keep up the good work, keep up the momentum, and let us again connect back tomorrow to resume our discussion. Thank you very much and good night.